A lot of instructional designers are really frustrated right now because tools like Articulate Storyline are raising their prices once again. But the bigger shift is that we're not going to need tools like this in the same way anymore, and it's changing what it means to be an instructional designer. So now more than ever, the role of the instructional designer is shifting from designing training to designing human performance solutions, and AI is a major catalyst here. So historically, instructional designers have been involved in improving human performance, but a big emphasis has been on designing these e-learning courses or these training experiences. Now, we have other options. So again, traditionally, we do that job task analysis, figure out which tasks people are doing on the job, which tasks are most difficult, which tasks do people make mistakes on the most often, which ones are most important to get done. And then we'd say, okay, let's design training solutions to make sure that people can do these tasks well. Well, now we can identify opportunities for automation and AI augmented support. So instead of saying, oh, let's design training for these tasks, we can ask which of these tasks can we actually automate with software or with AI, and which tasks do the humans actually need to do. So it's a different bar for when learning is genuinely needed. If we can get something done more reliably and more quickly by designing an automation or an AI augmented tool, then we can train learners on the maybe 10 or 20% of that workflow that they actually need to be doing. So I'm going to give you some realistic examples here. So I'll talk a bit about my AI consulting journey inside of my business. And the key takeaway I had pretty early on is that this is very close to instructional design work. The same instructional design work I do with subject matter experts and clients, that's what it is that I'm doing inside my business with this AI consulting piece. So it essentially is me interviewing my team members and identifying pain points that are causing them friction, leading to mistakes, etc. So anything that's slowing them down, parts of their job that really feel monotonous and that are stopping them from doing higher value work, I'm taking notes, I'm getting on calls with them, I'm essentially interviewing them as if I would interview an employee who I'm designing a learning experience for. But then, instead of designing training, I add features to this new AI-powered business operating system that I'm building to automate most of those tasks and design easy ways to interact with it. So again, instead of, hey, team member, okay, let me design training to help you do this like more efficiently or make fewer mistakes, it's let me go ahead and design a system that can handle this and make zero mistakes. And if there are any errors, surface them immediately. And then I'll teach you how to spend, 10% of the time you were using before on actually doing all of those tasks, on actually overseeing the system, resolving any low confidence decisions that the system made, so on and so forth. So it has freed up a lot of time in the business. And I'll talk about just one domain of this new operating system I'm building. So we had a lot of finance headaches, I guess you could say. So we have a lot of payments coming from different students from all these different platforms. And so we had to manually match incoming payments to the different students. We would have to reconcile the payouts. So say we get a payout from one of these platforms once a week for several $1,000s. We would then need to go in and see, okay, which students' payments actually make up this payout so that we can account for it properly. It was taking a lot of time. We were navigating all sorts of different tools. And errors would pop up. Missed payments would sometimes fall through the cracks. We didn't have a reliable way to see financial forecasts. So these payment plans, right? Most of them could be falling off tomorrow, and then a lot of our revenue would dry up, or they could be falling off in 6 months because of the systems we were using. We didn't have a reliable way to see that, and it made it harder to make good business decisions. So now these payments and payouts are automatically getting assigned to the right students. And not just that, but they're also getting updated in the accounting tool that we use. So this system is interfacing with all sorts of different financial accounts and the accounting software we use, and it's handling this stuff for us much more efficiently and more accurately than we were doing as humans. The team only has to use one tool. We see missed payments or errors immediately, and we can resolve them very quickly. And my favorite part, we can see the full accurate financial forecast, right? We can ask, hey, what's the profit and loss for this month by asking our Slack bot. His name is Mark. He's the finance guy, right? We have a different persona in our Slack for these different AI domains that we're building out. And it has been, honestly, I won't even get into the emotional aspect of it here, but it's been very nice. And it's already saving us hours every week and over $500 a month with how much time it's saving our bookkeeper. And if you count the time it's saving myself and my team member, very likely thousands of dollars every month in efficiencies. So bigger picture, that is just one domain, right? We're kind of building this operating system to support the entire business. We have an admissions guide in progress who can help people get enrolled and get their questions answered for joining our licensed career school, Peck Academy. We have content creation domain to help support me by outlining videos, doing content research, creating slides for me even. Governance to keep an eye on the whole system and optimize the system over time. Website to make it easier to do website updates. And the list goes on. I could do a whole video on this. But the overall point is that this system is saving our team dozens of hours per month. It's giving us capabilities we just outright did not have before. And the primary skill set I'm using is instructional design. So it's a different solution that I'm proposing and creating, but instead of using a tool like Articulate Storyline to build these solutions, I'm using a tool called Claude Code, just a different authoring tool. So I would encourage you to try to do this, right? Claude Code has changed the game when it comes to creating software. You can do this now, right? You do not need to learn how to code. You don't need to write code. That is a thing of the past. Even last year, I was creating JavaScript tutorials. Don't watch it because you don't need to do that yourself anymore. Claude Code can do that for you. And the same skills that make you good at instructional design, like understanding systems, asking the right questions, designing for the user, that's exactly what this kind of work requires. So I would encourage you, if you do want to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and really take your skill set to the next level, check out Claude Code. Drop a comment if you want to learn more about it. I'm happy to teach you more. Which actually leads really nicely into this example I want to share with you. So last week, I hosted a workshop inside of Peck Academy to teach people how to set up Claude Code and create an AI-powered chat widget that they can embed inside an e-learning course, right? So I wanted to teach people, like, hey, get on this skill, right? It is really changing things for our business. I'm going to teach you all how to use it to create little learning experiences, create AI-powered role-playing simulations that you can embed inside of your learning experiences. Let's hop on a workshop and do this. So it was supposed to be a 60-minute workshop. I stayed 90 minutes to make sure we could get there in the end. We did create the AI-powered widget, but there was friction with the technical setup, right? There is a lot of new concepts. People have different computers, different errors can pop up. And so I was thinking, my first instinct, right, was I want to make this easier for people, right? I want to maybe create a tutorial series where I go step by step, really slow on exactly how to download things, talk about all the different errors that could pop up and how to resolve them. But then I realized, why don't I actually create software to make it easier, right? Instead of teaching people how to do the technical setup, which can cause some friction, what would it look like if I designed a tool that took care of all of the security concerns for people, took care of all the server and hosting concerns, and let instructional designers focus on just that instructional design piece, and then it gives them a very easy thing to just go ahead and embed in their Storyline course. I handle the hosting, I handle the security, I handle all of that good stuff. So I want to actually show you what that tool looks like. I'm going to cut to a demo, and I'm really curious to hear what you think. Okay, check out this AI-powered role-playing simulation that I built in Storyline in less than 10 minutes using this new tool that I created, which I'll show you right after. So we are role-playing as a customer service representative supporting this customer right here who ordered the wrong shoes and needs a refund. So I'll start off by being a little bit annoying, and I'll say, how did you order the wrong shoes? Probably not something we want to ask as a customer service representative. And as we can see, the customer here got angry. The pose changed. And she says, are you seriously asking me how I ordered the wrong shoes? That's none of your business. So I'm going to try to bring this back on track. You're right. I am so sorry for asking that question. And I can understand how frustrating this would be. I've ordered the wrong items before on mistake, and it can be a major pain. I will help you get this resolved ASAP. So we're trying to make things right here. And the customer seems to appreciate it. And they say, look, I ordered the black shoes by accident. I wanted the blue ones. I don't want to wait until the package arrives to get a refund. I need this fixed today. Can you send me the blue ones and cancel the black ones? Yes, that's exactly what I will do. I'll cancel the order for the black ones and make sure the blue ones get sent out ASAP. I'll also throw in a 10% discount for the inconvenience. So I'm going to go above and beyond with my customer service today. Okay, the customers seem to appreciate that. They are happy now. They said, thanks, that's what I'm talking about. They want to confirm, but we did pass the criteria, so the simulation is complete. And we do have a continue button here now. So again, this is all programmed in Storyline. So I'm going to click continue, and we can see we got a score here. Oh, there's a little scroll bar. I'll need to adjust that in Storyline. Again, I made this in literally like 10 minutes. And we get some AI generated feedback as well. You recovered well after a rough start, acknowledging your mistake and apologizing turned the conversation around. Your empathy felt genuine. One refinement, avoid offering discounts without authorization, right? So fair enough. So this is the tool that I use to build this. So it is my new simulation builder. It's very much in a beta. I've been testing it myself. I'm going to bring some more users into it at a workshop in a few hours today. But it is production ready. It is secure. It's ready to go. And so you can create a new simulation. And when you create one, you can configure all sorts of stuff. So you can configure the name, the audience, right? The character name, what the character's role is. So you can see this is an upset customer who ordered the wrong product. She's impatient, gets angry easily if she feels like her time is being wasted. We can set the welcome message. We can define the scenario and the behavior instructions. And then we can add some evaluation criteria. So this is how we will evaluate how well the learner is performing in the simulation. So you can see we had 3 checks for the demo I just showed you. Acknowledge the customer's frustration, empathize, and assure them we can send out the correct shoes instead. And you can add more criteria as needed. And then storyline variables as well. So in storyline, we have this character with these different states, and I wanted to be able to change the character's state based on the emotion that they're feeling. So I did that with variables. You can see, change Nadia to happy when Nadia mood changes, if Nadia mood is equal to happy. So that's some general storyline programming stuff. But on the tool side, we can just define this once. So we can say Nadia mood, set it equal to some text, either angry, happy, sad, or neutral whenever Nadia's emotional state changes. Here we get to define when the simulation ends, and we can decide whether or not we want the learner to get feedback. So we could show the feedback right in the same chat window, or we could write it to some storyline variable so that we can display it on a new slide like we did over here in this simulation where we showed that feedback and that score. We can also choose which model we want to use. So we can either get faster responses and use fewer credits, or quality optimize them. And it takes a little bit longer, but we get the higher quality responses. So we can also change the visuals, so we can make the background transparent if we want, so it kind of blends into an existing scene. And you can see we can change pretty much everything about how this looks, how the branding is, so it can match people's e-learning courses. When we go to the publishing tab, it gives us exact instructions on how to actually set this up in Storyline. So we can create the web object. It tells you exactly which variables to create, and it gives you a single JavaScript trigger to add on slide, and some code also to restart the simulation. So you'll see over here on this slide, if the learner did not pass, they would get this try again button, and we just execute that restart simulation JavaScript here. So again, you can also see live previews. You can engage with them here to check it before you actually put it into Storyline. And my favorite tab, we can also see metrics. So we can see how many people have completed it, what the pass rate is, what the average score is, and how many unique learners there are. So yeah, I'm really excited to share this with people. It is secure. So again, you can create as many of these simulations, you can create many of these simulations, share them out with dozens or hundreds or even thousands of learners to add this kind of interactivity to a Storyline course, a Rise course. And I tried my best to make it super, super easy for instructional designers to use it without having to deal with security or API keys or anything like that. So as you just saw, using a tool like this would save an instructional designer a lot of time. If they want to embed one of these AI-powered simulations in their e-learning experience, rather than having to teach them how to do steps 1 through 10, you can just create a tool like this, teach them how to use the tool, and then they can get a simulation like that live in a matter of minutes instead of hours. So what does this mean for us, for instructional designers? So we have the power to create software tailored to our audience's exact needs, right? This is not some thing you need to go to school and learn for years. It's not a years-long learning curve. It's a 1 to 3 months learning curve, and you can be doing this quite well, if not in less than a month. So Storyline made course creation accessible, but AI has done that for software itself. Again, we have an authoring tool now called Claude Code, and there are many others that can create software for us without us having to code. That exists in the world. So Storyline keeps raising their prices, right? They're adding these AI features, but what this new wave of tools is doing is making tools like Storyline a bit redundant, right? If we can use Claude Code to create a SCORM package and to create these different e-learning packages that we can upload right to the learning management system, we can do that now. And again, Storyline's not disappearing tomorrow. It's of course still a valuable skill to learn. We could do a deeper dive into where that really fits in, but I just want to emphasize that you can create custom software. You can create custom learning solutions with code without having to actually code yourself. So imagine this, right? On your next project on the job as an instructional designer, imagine you propose a custom tool that your audience can use, an automation that can automate a big portion of their role or a big portion of a task that they've been having to do, and a learning experience that teaches people how to use this new tool. So we're not talking about replacing people's jobs. We're talking about some of those rote tasks that people are doing that are kind of, dragging them down, maybe a bit redundant, maybe it's easy to make errors on. We can design automations and tools that can handle those pieces so that the humans can be doing their most valuable work. And as instructional designers, we are positioned very, very well. Our skill set lines up so nicely with creating these kinds of solutions. And so this is the next evolution of instructional design. It's not, let me churn out e-learning courses in Storyline. It's, let's design comprehensive solutions, software incorporated into them, and the learning experiences can be much more lightweight so that we can really help people do their jobs better. So the people who can do this, the instructional designers who get on board with this, will drive far more impact than people who only design training. I mean, imagine, right? Imagine designing a series of e-learning courses to teach people how to do a series of skills versus someone who can say, hey, I'm going to automate this. I'm going to design a tool they can use. I'm going to teach them how to use the tool. I can get this live in 2 weeks versus the e-learning courses that might take 4 months. And then the person, can work much more efficiently too if a lot of that is automated or handled by the tool that you create. So yeah, exciting times. This is one of the best times to be an instructional designer, in my opinion. I am leaning 100% into this. Of course, my day job is still kind of doing some traditional instructional design work for another instructional design course I'm building, but this is the direction I've been taking for the last 6 months. This is the direction I will be pursuing further, and I encourage you to do the same if you want to make sure you're staying as effective as possible. So if you liked that sim builder tool that I built, feel free to join the waitlist. You can go to www.devlin.ai and also leave a comment letting me know where you'd like me to record a video diving deeper, right? We're touching on a lot of different stuff here. This is a very big conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And again, if you want me to dive deeper into some of my thinking or some of the building process I'm using, let me know where you'd like to go, and I will take that feedback into account. So thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one.